Okay, so Monster Summer is the new film from David Henrie. It is written by Cornelius Uliano and Bryan Schulz. The film is produced by who we got? John Blanford, Mark Fasano, James Henrie, Don McDongan. Yeah, executive produced by Tobias Weimar, Jeremy John Wells, Cornelius Uliano, Philip Sarnecki, Scott Pomeroy, Darren Moorman, Jason Melton, Lorenzo James Henry, Alison Fergal, Troy Duhon, Ford Corbett, and David Henrie also. It is line produced by Tyler Smith and co-executive produced by Aaron J. Weiderspan. Frederick Weideman took care of the music. Larry Blanford is on cinematography. Rob Sullivan edits the piece. Casting is handled by Casting was Nancy Naylor. Elliot Glick is production design. Art direction is Brianna Norvell. Rachel Wilkin is set decoration. Costume design, we've got Robbie McKeffin. Hair, makeup, special effects, all of that jazz. We've got Crystal Brudell, Ash Christ, Carrie Delaney, James Jenkins, Rick Poor, Tara Sal, Tara Seagar, Jamie Wazell, and Jason Willis. Okay, so the cast. Right, we've got Noah Reid. He's played by Mason Thomas. Right, his sister Lily is played by Emma Fasano, and his mother Abby is played by Nora Zehetna. Right, Noah's friends, his best friend Ben Driscoll, played by Noah Cottrell. Right, Ben's mum Hannah is played by Bobby Baker. Ben and Noah also hang out with Sammy Devers, played by Abby James Witherspoon, and Eugene Wexler, played by Julian Lerner. Right, we then have got Jean Carruthers, played by Mel Gibson. Right, there's Miss Havelson, played by Lorraine Bracco. We got the umpire, played by Patrick Reena. Our witch, played by Ashley Ray Trisler. Right, the witch was voiced by Barbara Goodson. There is Edgar Palmer, he runs the local newspaper. He is played by Kevin James. Oh my God. I was looking at that dude and I'm thinking, I know him. Who is Kevin fucking James? Okay. All right, we've got Emily, played by Abreli Josephine Sincotti. Ellie Evans, played by Lilith Pate. We got Deb Harlow, played by Kelly Collins Lintz. Chief Hartley, the police chief, played by Gary Weeks. There's Kevin Lampke, played by Gavin Bedell. Um, Ronnie Harlow, played by Spencer Fitzgerald. That is probably our main players in the piece, I would say. You know what I mean? Okay, so the gist of the story. When a mysterious force begins to disrupt their big summer fun, Noah and his friends team up with a retired police detective to embark on a monstrous adventure to save their island. And that's the gist of it, right? Now, this is the second feature from, right, David Henrie. And funny enough, we did actually look at his first feature film, right? Yeah, he's back in, gosh, I cannot even remember now. It was a couple of years ago, right? It was, This Is the Year, right? So that was in episode 234, I believe, right? Yeah, we took a look at that. Now, there's in the press note, right, there's a bit about the inspiration of the film. It says, Monster Summer is that first summer you grew up. It's the summer of best friends and first kisses. It's when you really notice music for the first time. Wore your bathing suit all day long, got up early on purpose, and stayed gone until after dark. Friends were everything, and you learned how to have an argument and it not be a fight. Lots of sugar, rode your bike in 1,000 miles, knew where every pool was, and every day was a new adventure. It was a summer, something scary happened that made us more aware that the world was bigger and sometimes more dangerous than our neighborhood. It's the last summer that went on forever, and the one where we realized these summers don't last forever. Right? That's what they're saying about the film, right? What they're hoping this film is. And watching it, right? You go, okay, I can see the inspiration, right? Because they also reference the Goonies, the Sandlot, E.T., you know what I mean? Those kind of films. And you can see they're trying to do that. It's set in 97, right? So you can avoid mobiles and, you know, the internet and a lot of those things. Well, the internet to what it is now, anyway. And those things are pretty clear, right? And I think a little kid would probably enjoy this film. It doesn't, though, right? I think give you all of those things about the summer, right? The first kiss, the best friends, the music, just all of those elements. Because we have these friends, right? But they're not very well developed. You know, Noah and Ben are probably the most in this to some degree. Sammy is really just super one-dimensional. I mean, the film was originally called Boys of Summer, right? That's how much they didn't really give a fuck about Sammy. You know what I mean? Sam is a girl, people. Sam is a girl, right? So, yeah, no, it's the other friends aren't really developed. So this close-knit friend group and all of that, it's not really, because, you know, we have Noah kind of ramroding his friends into doing what the things he wants, right? And there's not really a lot of evidence for a lot of the things that go down. Right? We're meant to believe that he's a really good writer, But I kind of feel to be a really good writer, you have to understand people, right? And it is so evident. Noah doesn't understand people at all, right? He's got a single mum trying to run this B&B business, right? And he's a bit of a shit to her, you know? And it's just like, what do you expect her to do? He loses one of her clients. And then the next scene, she's like, hey, can we talk? And he's just like, ugh. And he cops this attitude, and you're just like, what the, huh? You know what I mean? So he doesn't know people. So him being a good writer, I doubt. But, again, it's not one of these things. We have him at a typewriter. You know what I mean? But you're not selling this to me. You're not selling that he's a good writer, he's knowledgeable, he's any of these things. Now, the acting is all fine. You know? It's the script that is the issue here. Right? There's no nuance in it. Now, the writers, all their other work has been in the Peanuts universe. You know, Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Woodstock, all of that jazz. And that's a different sort of writing. You know, that's very, sweet, simplistic kind of stories. They're nice, they're fun. Right? But we know what those are. So the writing of this kind of makes sense. There's no nuance. Right? Like, you have these kids, and it's 97. Supposedly they read a lot. They read a lot. So they enjoy these stories about monsters and all of that kind of jazz. So, if that's the case, surely when you're going out looking for things, you're bringing stuff with you. Now, you're a kid, so you don't have guns or swords or anything like that, but they all play baseball. So at least bring your fucking baseball bats, right? Bring some rope. Do something, a torch. Right? You'd think people are trying to go into these situations a little bit prepared, you know? Then you've got the whole Gibson character. You know what I mean? Like Gene. And, like, when you have these kids hanging out with an adult, like, it's always weird. It never makes any sort of sense. Like, why is an adult going to be hanging with these kids, especially when they break into his place and all? You know what I mean? It's like, I would just love for one of these stories to make some sense, right? It can be for kids. It doesn't have to be for me. But at least show young people the respect of writing a story where you go, okay, yeah, I see the logic in this. It can be fantasy, right? It can be fantasy, but just with the certain elements like friendships and all of this, have it go that you're like, yeah, I can see why they would do that. That makes a lot of sense, right? You know, his dad's a writer. So obviously he's got a pipe. He's got it's just these tropes that they are always messing with, you know? And that's the thing. It's like they've watched films like The Goonies. They love those films. And they're like, oh, we want to make something like it. So what parts of this story can we take and duplicate? That's what it always seems like. Rather than, yeah, no, they were great. There were definitely plot holes. So let me try and do something that makes a bit more sense. There's a better flow to it, you know? There's like the ending, especially the ending with Ben. You're just like, what? Right? Especially when we see the thing, just before that with everyone else. So you're just like, wait, what was that? You know what I mean? It's an odd one. It's an odd one. But as I said, I think this will work for little kids. I think little kids will enjoy it. Adults, I think you're kind of, it's one of those distractions, right? If you want, the kids are like, can we watch a film together? And you're just like, I don't want to watch a film, right? I don't want anything taxing. What can I throw up? This is that film, right? This is the film you can throw on, your kids will enjoy it. It's not going to tax you. You know what I mean? You don't have to pay too much attention. There's no offensive shit in it. Oh man, people, I'm dying. It's very saccharine, because it's set in 97. We got these kids hanging out. They're not trying to do anything risque, right? Hanging out in the woods, you couldn't walk, a few yards without finding porn, right? That's where porn was back in the days, right? In the 90s. It was all in the woods. I have no idea why, right? But that's where you would just see that shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one's trying to tell some, like, crazy ass jokes, right? It's not really a reflection of these kids, But, yeah, look, it is out. I think it's out in the States already, but it's out in the UK on the 25th of November, right? So, on all your favourite VODs, you will be able to check out Monster Summer if that sounds like it could be for you.